Well, Rowan's at the last, but I'm sure that's
Fuck.
better or worse. So
Rowan will self-destruct herself. She doesn't need the help.
also true.
And I need to convince my monarch to let a man out of his debt, which is that's gonna be a hard sell.
Oh dear.
So who wants to recap a bit what happened last time?
Oh, I think I will. I think I will. All right. So, as so, leave. As some people going about their daily business, I think Darius tried to get in contact with Celine, and oh no, Celine wasn't answering. But she's probably just busy, with stuff. She's a very busy woman. I'm sure nothing bad is happening to her. And who did Darius met with somebody, right?
I called the other wizard to ask about the Weeping Prince.
Okay, yeah, that's what you did, and then he basically said, "Listen, I'll look into it, but just come over later, and I'll tell you what I can find out." Rowan, meanwhile, called Lamar because she's been meaning to get in contact with more mortals, but things kept popping up, and Lamar basically told her, "Yeah, Grace is gone. Can you help me out?" Which Rowan said, absolutely. Called in Andrea to be muscle if it's needed, and called in Zoe to see if she could have some of her men out. Zoe did the objectively funny thing and immediately just got Darius to do it. After that, Darius, Andrea, Lamar, and Rowan went to the garden, where they luckily we were able to get in and out. Because of Darius's tracking abilities with his spell, first tracking Grace and then tracking Darcy out, which enabled us to go through the it safely. But we found Grace in there, and no, she is totally well, she didn't tell anyone at the time because it turns out, as we'll find out later, she was instructed to lie. But she is bounded with the some spirit, Daresits. Maybe, possibly, hypothetically related to the garden. I don't know. That's just conjecture, though. But as we moved through the winter court, luckily we didn't encounter anyone. We all got out, found out it was very late. So Darius immediately has to go. Rowan notices it first, though, that, the moon is gone. She first calls Andrea about it, and then she calls Lamar, and Grace basically says, you two keep going home. Make sure you get home very fast. The moon is out, so I'll be staying with you tonight just to make sure you're safe. As Darius was leaving, he called up Andre and basically said, I'm sorry, I'm late. Face shit. And then Andre's like, oh, fine, I guess you can come over now. Then he got called by Zoran. Hey, Dad, I just killed a guy. Pick me up, I'm scared. Something related to that. Called back Andre immediately. Said, listen, can you just give me the cliff notes right now? And says, sure, if you owe me one. And from there, got some information about the Weeping Prince. Basically, in the Weeping Prince decisively wins the versus battle every time, essentially, and basically told that he's from folklore related to the folklore legends about a third son. So picked Zoran up. Immediately he was freaking out. He wanted to see Zoe. Darius was like, no. Eventually Darius was able to eventually consented, like, fine, Zoe can come here. at the same time, he had Zoran drink the potion, which didn't remove his actual feelings for Zoe. So leaving them alone, Darius went to go confront Rowan and basically did the right move by basically like just immediately hitting her with the "I know what you did," leaving Rowan not a whole lot of room to move around. It was a tense conversation, but Rowan did agree to come back. And originally, she was just going to set Zoran's crush back to its normal spot. She didn't want to do what Darius had kind of suggested she could do, which is to remove it. Sadly, though, oh yeah, and Zoe was told about this because, of course, Rowan told Zoe. Sadly, though, the Winter Monarch seemed very intent on no, you should remove it, and Rowan did that. Told Zoe. Zoe freaked out. Matthias came out, attacked Zoe, which violated the spirit of one of his oaths. And yeah, and you know, Rowan talked to Matthias as she was leaving, as he threw his axe into the river, and Rowan kind of opened up as to her specific idiosyncrasies, her specific nature as a fae, and Matthias basically offered a deal, like, talk to your monarch, get me out of this request, and I'll teach Grace how to control her powers. I think that's it mostly.
Before we see how that thought is happening, rewind time. As well, Celine, you've had a busy night. Morning does seem to be much more relaxing, doesn't it?
Always.
What is Celine doing at the moment? I think you just got the soul from Rowan, you gave it to Abaddon, and I think after that he fucked off.
Yeah, like we had I think she was left with the information about bodyguard. She's probably looking over the contract right now that
the
Liana
contract,
mentioned.
yeah, the contract doesn't seem to have any hidden clause in it. It is, yeah, I think I said 3 years. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, it was 3 years.
Yeah, so it is just a 3-year contract, after which it literally just expires. And it's basically to resume your old duties of managing and assisting a lot of his assets with information gathering and coordinate them. And when Leon said, "Hey, you'll be my boss," that wasn't a metaphor. Like the sort of asset management you would do, it would be exactly that, like giving people like Leon orders and making sure they don't fuck up. Because he clearly can't
gotcha.
plan for shit.
Gotcha.
And well, the payment is mostly left up to you, as he is willing to offer you souls, favors, anything else you might want.
That's a big check he's writing, basically.
Mhm.
I assume.
Mm-hmm.
This more than anything else has Celine more concerned than elated right now.
Well, you're reading, it's still a bit early before you open the shop. You lock your door?
Yeah, I assume as well. Like I said, she
As
treats it
you
like a
just-
regular store.
You hear like fucking the lock breaking as John just like walks and opens the door forcefully.
John, you could have called or something. Is everything all right?
I need to warn you, or I'll. You've been very good to me Celine, so I owe you at least to ensure that you are safe.
What's
I've learned recently that, well, he's back.
okay, John? Breathe for a minute. Take a seat. Who's back? I look like you're. I assume John looks really frightened. This is probably the first time Shalini's ever seen him with such a strong emotion like this.
I've learned, yes. He'll kind of like try and recompose himself. He'll take a seat. Always kind of glancing around. You've never seen this man anxious, ever in your life. But he is just glancing around. He's nervous. He's fidgety. He is holding his cane tight. More like a club than an actual cane. I've learned that there is a Auk, supernatural creature. Very dangerous, but to my knowledge, mostly extinct. But I assume if it's here, the hunters are not behind. That I have to warn you, because I think I will be taking my leave. No longer safe city.
I see then. Can you tell me about these hunters? I assume it's after the young ward.
It's one specific. It's called the Weeping Prince. Cursed being that hunts down monsters like the Bulk, like myself, and many others. If you want, Selena, I'm willing to pay for accommodations if you wish to depart, but my suggestion would be to leave this place.
Ah, I see. Are you sure it's called the Weeping Prince?
I would never forget his visage or his name.
Why does it particularly hunt down a Bulk or of these other monsters, as you say?
It hunts down whatever creatures it views as dangerous, I guess. An old legend and way beyond my time. My mother told me about it. Well, my mother was a very powerful and frightening individual. She was terrified of it. I've never seen her being terrified at most things. Few things she was scared of. I don't never want to meet them. Fortunately, well, not everyone is as lucky as I am.
Can you describe what it looks like?
Pale figure, shrouded in darkness, holding a large sword. Most I can
see.
remember, honestly.
Well,
I was much younger
things
back
are-
then and much more terrified.
Celine gives like him a smile. Says, "I understand, John. I would hate to see you get hurt at the very least, and I understand and respect if you do what's necessary. If you need me to help you with anything,
Gonna
I'm
leave?
always here." No, John. I think I've found myself in a bit of a mess I'm gonna have to take care of, and I don't want to alarm you, but well, don't worry. I can take care of myself. I've lived a lot longer than most people, so
Denying that, but you don't don't know what you're dealing with. This thing comes into the city, and nobody is safe.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, John. I may have had a first-hand encounter with it, and I can tell you that it's going to be all right, at least for now.
Yeah, his
But I-
eyes kind of go wide a bit as you see the red gleam from them just emanate ever so more brightly.
I've I found myself in a bit of a pickle, but it's all right. John?
What sort of... How do you say this in English? Oh, okay, never mind. I was about to make a joke, but literally the language doesn't allow me, so... What sort of issue?
Well, I will be truthful with you, John. I had a close encounter with the creature, and it's not as talkative as you would think, but it's currently helping me out with the situation. And that means that, well, it's gonna be around me. I'm not too sure exactly the full scope of its abilities. And I think I'd rather you not be in danger because of that.
As he like grips the cane. You're in league with it?
I don't really think it's in league with it. It's more like I'm helping the guy. Well, sorry, not guy. I'm helping who's ever in charge of it. I didn't really know what it was. I just kept calling it Prince. I think that was all I was able to get out of it. My former lord was a bit more persistent than usual. I'm not too sure.
I was
wasn't
told
aware
by
of it.
Rowan that you would be able to handle it.
I did.
With this?
I didn't really know what it was going to be when I made the original deal.
What sort of deal did you get yourself involved in?
I have a bodyguard, we'll say. And in exchange, I will keep an eye on things for someone.
Who?
She looks like she's a bit reluctant, but takes a glance again at John's face before sighing. I'm not too sure what... Well, I know what it is. An angel? Is the lack of better words?
You see the fear replace his befuddlement now as terror starts to instill into him.
It's alright,
You're
John.
working for an angel?
As of right now, yes.
Uh, were you coerced into this? Like, what? Do you even know what their kind does?
Grunt, how much is a demon aware of an angel and what they can do? Does Celine understand exactly what it
So-
is, or is it just too mysterious?
Again, angels are most supernaturals. Like a lot of them think they're myths. You being a demon, no, they're not. But you know for a fact that they interact. Like there's only been like less than a handful of angels that have ever interacted with anyone in the world, across like in the entirety of history. And they always usually just never act directly. They usually act through other intermediaries, like Abaddon is doing right now. And they always have this rather terrifying reputation. They generally tend to be on the side of the mortals, which is why a lot of the supernaturals get freaked out by them. Because a lot of them do get killed by them.
I'm a little bit more aware of them than most others, at the very least. And coercion, depending on what you want to look at, could be used, but no. I was being backed in a corner, I took a gamble.
Hey, who backed you into that corner?
Well, my lord seems to desperately want me back, to the point that he's willing to employ extreme methods. More extreme than usual. And with things becoming more intense as it is, I'm not too sure what the coming days will look like. And I promise you I didn't go seeking it. He showed up at my door with an offer.
What was that offer?
Protection, like I said, for information. He will make sure that no one can hurt me as long as I keep on the payroll. It's not even a debt, really. As long as I continue to do my side of the
You know
deal,
he's
then
after the bulk, right? He has no way of knowing that I was here. That creature, though? You know of it. Do you know it personally?
no, I've never really met the bulk at all. I'm aware that it's the ward of Darius, and some other information, but that's as far as I got. Don't know it on a personal level.
Has he killed anyone?
From what I've been made aware of, outside of that murderer, that's really all I know.
Was the murderer human?
I think so, actually.
You're already... Explains why he's here.
Like you said, John, things are becoming more tense as things go on. It's dangerous here.
More dangerous for you than it is for me, apparently. You have them in your shadow.
Well, sadly, you have to do what you can to survive at best. Come now, John. Don't frown so much. It's gonna be all right.
Just... I swore to myself that I would never be this powerless, and here I am. Never achieve anything.
I think that's the benefit and downside of living, I think.
No matter how strong you get, there'll always be someone stronger than you.
That's why you have to learn to... When you live in the demon world, I assume, you have to learn power doesn't come from being strong, it comes from being smart.
I guess you're right. I don't know what to say. He like leans back into the chair. It looks absolutely fucking defeated. There's an underlying rage to him, but there's also a sense of just despair and hopelessness.
Gotcha. Come, John. Come now, John. There's always more than just this to life. How about we go for a walk in the garden, at the very least?
Much appreciate that. As yeah, he's gonna get up as he'll take a morning stroll. As you start going the winding paths. And as you walk down, he'll start talking a bit and says, "No, I came here to find a peaceful and quiet place. Turns out it's quite the opposite."
That's the wonders of life, John. It's always chaotic and messy, especially when you want to reach out with other people. You can always, of course, stay isolated and safe, but that's so very boring.
Not for me. It's safer this way.
Well, then I'm happy that you took the opportunity to at least say hello to me.
I'll be honest. There is a reason why my kind was hunted into extinction.
Is it alright for me to ask?
A lot of my older brothers, they didn't really resist the impulses, these urges. Just feel all the time, actually. Sometimes, the only times actually it's easier to ignore them is when I'm surrounded by nature, usually alone. The need to kill, the need to heal, need to possess. That's light.
May I ask exactly what you are?
I'm what you would call one of the Smay. Cursed creatures, really.
Does Selena know anything about the Smay?
Actually, because that's a funny thing. Selena is a demon. Would Celine give a shit about the more occult and esoteric part of the demon influence or like connections with other supernaturals, other worlds, planes, dimensions, whatever?
I think outside of business-wise and making sure she knows who she can make contract with, I wouldn't really say fully, like as a curiosity thing, but as a practical thing.
I'll say then no, because it's not really, it's not been relevant for like centuries for most demons. So
Sure.
a twisted abomination.
Nonsense. I've met twisted abominations. You don't look like one to me. Don't act like one either.
It's because I'm suppressing it even right now, Selena. It's being with you here. My instincts know what they're telling me to do is kidnap you and lock you away. You for myself. It's not just you, it's gold, jewels. You see, somewhere in forgotten history, somewhere someone decided what would happen if you would interbreed dragons, demons. Even want to imagine what the thought process of that will be. Tell you the outcome is an ugly one. Weeping Prince is a monster of my kind's creation. It was one of my ancestors that kidnapped and raped his fiancée, which then triggered a cycle of violence that's gonna end with all of us dead.
Oh.
My village was wiped 2 centuries ago, and I don't know of any others existing. There might be survivors, stragglers, but I don't know of any others like me. I saw him then. He killed my brothers, my mother. I just fled into the mortal realm. Been running since then.
Well, it's odd then to have such a being in the employment of an angel. If he was, I assume, mortal once?
A nod. Great and mighty hero. What the stories tell. Those stories never tell the full truth. I believe he was maybe once noble. Maybe he was... He wanted to do good. After all, if an angel from heaven shows up and offers you the power to save the one you love, kill the villain, eradicate monsters, protect your village and land, say no to that? So, seen him work out, I think, as he intended it.
A very strange turn of events then. A bulk, an angel, dragons and such.
Saying dragons. Haven't seen one and well,
John, did you... Ah, I almost forgot. You've met him before. Do you not remember? The fellow who was with me. Yvres?
you mean the Fae?
He was a dragon, John.
Odd. Doesn't feel like one.
Well, at the very least, he turned into one. So either he's a very good polymorph, powerful fae, or a dragon. At least that's what Andrea had smelt when she found me.
That woman is a dangerous one. Perhaps I am wrong. She does have a, I would say, nose, but that's not how they track. Dealt with their kind before. Take them away from distance, never look in their eyes.
I will take your advice. I can tell Andrea something I don't want to mess with.
Seems like you have bigger problems. Tell me, Celine. I thought I had an anchor here. And I don't want to impose on you. I don't want you. You just want to cooperate with the angel and move on with your life. I will leave you be. But there is another option.
Yes.
Do you want to the other option?
I would be foolhardy to say no to that.
It's not a smart choice.
Let me be the.
It may exaggerate your. No, I can't tell you what it is. I can only tell you that it will escalate things, not smooth them over. And you you may make, or rather, certainly will make, powerful enemies.
John, right now I'm on one side is an angel who wishes me to give him information, and the other side is my former liege who's offered me everything I want in the platter, which is also dangerous in itself. All I have is very bad options.
Next to your liege, I can bring you a third option. Cost me greatly, but none of these options. There is a third one. Can't tell you what it is. Will tell you that they will not demand anything out of you. Only secrecy. They won't make you work. They won't care about you as long as you don't talk about them.
Will it put you in danger?
Does it matter?
It does.
I'm in danger right now. If I took a swing at you right now, the thing would come out of your shadow and murder me, most likely. I'm half tempted to try anyway. I've always wondered if I've improved. Last Tuesday. Something tells me that I would lose. Pride. Pride is... It's a thing I've learned to swallow over and over and over again. I'll ask you one last time. Because talking to you for a long time now, and if I stay in longer, I'm afraid I might hurt you. You wish for your freedom at the expense of peace, quietness. Well, definitely not the smart choice.
Well, I don't need to butter me up so much, John. I can't say no to such an enticing offer. I am a demon after all.
Very lovely demon at that. As he like fucking like almost as if he like has to wrench himself. away from looking at you. So take several steps back. I apologize.
It's all right, John.
Thanks to you, I did discover that your little talking boxes don't actually can actually talk without feeling this pressure.
Well, like I said, human inventions are a marvel at that. That's all right, John. I like you too.
We'll smile and nod. I shall see you in the future. And
Take care of yourself.
You'll smile and nod and say, you as well. As he will start walking, as you see the fog intensifying around him, and then he's just fucking gone.
Huh, I guess he didn't really need an Uber.
Well, where he's going, trust me, there's no Uber. Well, I guess you pushed the nuclear button.
Look, Grunt, you're here to win, not to just be boring. You gotta have fun
Yeah,
sometimes.
no, I support this decision. I always support for more chaos.
Can the Weeping Prince even talk? Actually, now that I think about it, he did actually. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, whatever's left of his fucking vocal cords. I'll say yes. You saw him up close. He didn't look like. He looked in pain, tired, exhausted. Like he's been doing this for so many centuries. God knows how old this man is. Being kept alive at the whims of the angel that bound him.
I want to have a conversation with him. Think if we give him a pen and paper, he'll talk to me.
But yeah, eventually, we'll return back. As yeah, so John is very wholesome, Mac. You are correct. If it wasn't for his murderous impulses, fact that all his negative vices just fucking want to like make him just explode and just murder people, like steal shit, rape. It's fine. It's other than that, it's very wholesome.
Listen, he's fighting that inner beast. Well, like, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, he is finding other outlet. Meditation and kicking people.
Just
but yeah,
randomly. Ah, fuck my shin.
As unless there's something else, Celine, you can head back.
Gotta fix my door, apparently.
It's only a broken lock, not the worst in the universe, considering what you had to fix last time.
True.
But yeah,
The insurance is going through the roof.
Darius.
Who? Me? Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck.
The conveyor belt has moved. You wanted to go and find Lydia and tell her about shit.
Yes.
Well,
Fine, call, meet up, either way.
I feel like this is a meet-up situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'll drive down to her place. She well, lets you in. Like, well, what is the urgency?
He goes inside. It's clear that he is exhausted and still focused, and just kind of overall still pissed.
Okay,
yeah.
So it's really bad.
Yeah, kind of. And he will... All right, Grunt, because it's easier to say what I'm going to leave out. I'm not going to talk about the Weeping Prince because he doesn't really know anything about the Weeping Prince. He's not going to talk about the garden. He's not going to talk about Grace.
It's fine.
Okay. He's going to explain through. He's not going to talk about necessarily that he knew that she knew that Zorn was mind fucked,
Yeah.
but he's going to talk about pretty much everything else.
Yeah, as you'll listen very intently, what you have to say. Plain.
And I want to emphasize the moon disappearing was a factor he couldn't register.
As you finish explaining everything. Well, could be worse. You could have killed Zoe.
I'm on that trajectory right now.
You what now?
She
Oh, what you mean to say you will go and apologize? Explain how this was just your overprotectiveness spiking out.
Ugh.
You are gonna get on your knees, gonna beg and scrape at her. And you're gonna let her have her fun. Then we're gonna start working on salvaging the situation. Because if now I have to deal not only with the demons trying to fuck over me, I have to deal with Zoe's antics. Well, what is your obsession with keeping him away from her?
she was eating him alive.
It's regenerating. He's not gonna die from that.
The fucking other thing gets stronger the more it eats. I don't think you would like that. Wandering around.
Andrea is a problem we can more easily fix than Zoe.
Why is she this untouchable force?
Zoe? Because she has contacts, because she has influence, because she owns a lot of things now. Because after the last swipe, most of Sophia's assets have fallen into her hands. Because I had to appease her. Because, well, she may act all bubbly and ditzy. I'll remind you that this woman climbed in 10 years more than some vampires do in half a century. Even more. Because now, guess what? The werewolves will be quite upset. And unlike Zoe, who just wants to drain his blood and fuck him, they would probably want to kill him. You can see why it's a bad thing. And they are not gonna give a shit that the moon disappeared. They're gonna lash out. And guess who they'll lash out at first?
What is your thoughts on the Winter Court trying to fuck over Zoe? What do you think Zoe's doing to even get their attention?
Don't know. I know the Winter Court is now on a war path. A lot of people. I don't actually know what their beef is with Zoe. But if they're helping you, that's no help.
I know. I can't. The one I've dealt with has told me specifically that I can't trust them.
Rowan. Hearing that name, I won't keep liking it.
No, you shouldn't. But is there no way you could just put a puppet in Zoe's place, or instill Sophia, and call that a water under the bridge?
Why not? I mean, it's rather. Why didn't I think of this? I'll just put a puppet in. Easy.
All right.
Any other advice?
So you think just apologizing and then sending Zoran to the wolves is just going to call it water under the bridge for
No.
nearly lighting her
I
on
am
fire?
gonna send Zoran to her. That's the plan. You clearly can't put a lid on the boy. I'm gonna give it to someone who can actually do it.
They're going to kill him, or somebody's going to come after him because it seems like everybody.
The wolves are gonna come after him, but that then suddenly becomes Zoe's problem. Suddenly it's Zoe's resources that get dragged into this, it's Zoe's assets that get damaged, and it's Zoe's pride at stake, which is quite important. And you will get off that high pedestal you've put yourself onto and start thinking about things in a more pragmatic light. Because we've tried your way, and it's not really working. You've literally ended up using the same tactics as she does, but getting none of the results.
Like his jaw is tight. Like he's just like kind of just going through the options, and then just exhales. Fine. Fine. You win, Lydia.
I will get in contact with her, make a meeting happen where hopefully this she's suffering will at the very least delay things, and if she takes the bait, then we are set and we can move on to disposing of Andrea and cleaning up house. After that's gone, we can start addressing the Zoe problem directly. And when she's weakened from the fight with the wolves, see how things just seemingly flow one another.
Yeah. I'm sorry I keep causing you trouble.
It's fine. I just sometimes forget that some of the reasons I like you so much are also the reasons why you're so bad at playing this game. Politics isn't your strong suit, Darius.
When are you expecting this meeting? Am I even going to be there, or am I?
Oh yes, you are. You're gonna be doing much of the begging and scraping. And whatever the fuck else she demands.
So what? Is it a blank check thing, or what am I considering off the table?
Let's just say it has to be something pretty extreme. I will be there as well, and I'll let you know if it's something you can refuse or no. Okay?
What time is this meeting?
I will let you know the details when I talk with the woman.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to tell me so I don't go into this blind?
Other than the Weeping Princing, is there anything I'm missing, Grunt?
The fact that Grace, the Grace, the Whipping Prince. No? Because the thing is, Zoe did ask you to find Grace, so that might come up. I'm just reminding you.
There's one other thing.
Huh.
One thing I'm investigating that I don't know really anything about. It's just something that popped up, and Zoe did call upon a favor from me.
How amusing. What did she want?
I was tasked of finding somebody.
Okay.
The Grace girl.
I don't see a problem until now.
Okay. I just mentioned that because it might come up in the meeting.
She just kind of like squints her eyes a bit at you. You're hiding stuff from me. You haven't seen me get mad. I won't get mad.
I was at the woman went missing
Mhm.
as a favor from. Actually, do I even know Rowan was the one that called in a favor, or was it just she called me?
I think I don't remember if you like. I think you talked with Rowan afterwards, and she's like, "Yeah, no."
The fact that Rowan was there was the thing.
Because
But
you said to Rowan like you owe me for this, and Rowan was like, "No, actually, Zoe called it this favor for you, so you actually just Zoe owes you, not me." So.
he'll explain vaguely the events, but nothing like would be
Fuck is vaguely
incriminating.
mean?
No, you know what? Fuck it. He'll just explain the events, but his non-involvement with the garden specifically.
I was gonna say you already did that. Like you already told, "Hey, I tracked her down."
Yep. No, He's just. Yep.
No, then be like, fine. Seems quite irrelevant, but fine. There's
Okay.
nothing else. I have a lot of things to do.
Nope. I'm gonna go work a job until you contact me.
But yeah. As take your leave. Rowan, how are you dealing with after the aftermath?
Well, the first thing she's going to do is she's going to give Zoe a call. Of course, it's
Yeah. Gonna pick up. Hey.
hey, Zoe, darling. Wanted to extend an apology again. Sadly, when the monarch requests I pay a debt, my hands are tied.
It's fine. I but angry. Calm down. I'm fine now. I didn't mean to lose my nerve like that. Doesn't happen often. I
So,
I don't know why your monarch wanted to so fuck me royally over, but
I think I have a theory on that. 'Cause technically, when Matthias, Darius's father, came out, when he attacked you, he broke one of his oaths, and you don't know if oaths are quite important to the kind of person he is. And
Hmm.
now Matthias wants me to get him out of a debt he owes my monarch. Which, even if I do that, I think it means that he'll have lied that he couldn't do it. Which,
what is your monarch asking him to do? If you don't mind me asking.
to kill you. Which,
Of course.
yes, which is why I don't think she actually intends him to do it. I think she wants to make him break another oath because, and don't take this in the wrong way, getting a man like Matthias to kill you is a waste of Matthias' skill set. He can kill much stronger, much more physically imposing things.
Say then he is a very powerful combatant.
He is, but if he breaks his oaths and he loses his abilities, he'd just be a normal man.
Can I request a meeting with your monarch? Would you be able to arrange such a thing?
Of course I can. I'm going to have to meet with her anyways. Matthias did want me to speak on his behalf.
Should you make a promise for him?
Oh, again,
That's
he
fine.
owes
I
the
just
debt.
if you made, I just want to know what the promise is.
Oh, sorry, I misunderstood. Yes. Well, recently a friend of mine, she has sworn an oath, unwittingly, and well, I have Elliot to help her, but well, I like Elliot. He's fun, but he's not the most. He's not exactly the person I want teaching an impressionable youth.
Okay, so you want this Matthias fellow to help you train your friend.
Yes.
Does he want in return?
Well, he wants to get out of the obligation to kill you. I imagine he wants to do that because killing you would fuck over his son.
Hmm. It's a very noble sentiment.
Oh, don't get it wrong. It's only because it would hurt his son. I think if he could get away with killing you without impacting the Ares, he would.
Rowan, you know me. I like fun stuff. You like fun stuff. What if I told you I have an idea on how you can get everything you want? I can get everything I want. You help Matthias get out of his debt of killing me, the monarch. And he'll have to help you with your training. And you also help me in the process.
Rowan will laugh a bit. Of course. I don't see any reason. I don't see any reason why all shouldn't benefit.
Now I would request you, as soon as possible, arrange a meeting between me and your monarch. Or at least someone who can speak for her.
So I'll be speaking with her soon. I can see if arranging a meeting with you or a suitable representative.
Wonderful. I'll give me some time to get cleaned up a bit, hide some of these burn marks.
Of course. Well, I mean, I'll be going into the Winter Court, so you may have more or less time than you think, because time operates strangely.
Well, give me a call when you're done with that.
I will.
Lovely. Thank you.
Quite welcome, dear.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
with that, you will say
That
her
was a phone call.
goodbyes.
you're heading to
And-
the Monarch right now, or do you want to do something beforehand?
She just would go to the Monarch now.
Yeah. So
See any reason in delaying it.
you head into freezer. Well, you walk out to the snowy version of the city itself. And as snow crunches between your feet, you walk up to the main square where there's a bunch of other Fae. As you see your monarch just sitting on the throne above everyone else. And as you approach, she looks at you and kind of waves whatever the other person was talking, just fucking dismisses them immediately.
As Rowan will give a bow.
Welcome, Rowan.
Your Highness. Because there's a man has entered into an exchange with me, and you remember Matthias, I am sure.
Of course.
Yes, once he has requested that I speak on his behalf. He desires to be released from his obligation to kill the vampire Zoe.
Of course he does. Oh. No. I've preferred to hear a better counteroffer than just his desire.
Recently, there has been a development. You remember Grace, correct?
She nods.
She has recently unwittingly formed a pact with a being known as Derzitz, being connected to the garden. I think it's connected to the garden. It seems to, well, whenever Grace interacts with it, it seems to attract her there.
Hmm.
And
A curious
Matthias
development.
has offered. Yes, Matthias has offered to train her in the use of her abilities if I can extract him out of this obligation. I think Grace, well, right now she is young, she is inexperienced. If she has a connection to the garden, and if she could become sworn, like Elliot or Matthias are, I think she is.
I urge some caution, Rowan. I know you're curious and adventurous spirit. Not really be contained. I won't tell you not to do it. I will remind you that there are things in this world that you may not know of. There are things in this world that I am not really fully aware. That spirit that lies in the garden, there's this. Maybe it's the spirit of nature. Maybe a demon for all we know. Something ancient. You mean thousands of years has been sleeping there, undisturbed. Now it's awakening. First thing it does, makes a pact with a young, impressionable, most likely easily manipulated woman. Be careful, Rowan.
Rowan nods. I would have preferred that Grace not have done it at all. Now that it has happened, most I can do is ensure the safety that I can of her. She'll be in danger now regardless of what she does. Which is why I would prefer her, if possible, to fall under my aegis of protection.
You're free to protect who you want, but problem is, right now she might be in danger. If this escalates or degenerates in any manner that we are not aware of, she might put city, region, the court in danger.
Which is why I will keep you informed the entire time. would want to ask another question. If I may, what is... Respectfully, I doubt there is much interest in... So, what... You have an interest in... bulk?
That is for me to know alone. Doesn't
No.
regard you and highly sensitive information.
I understand.
Know that that creature is the key to our success.
I will inform you then of this. I made a deal to acquire the soul of the man that bulk killed. And then there was a deal I arranged with Celine, and Celine apparently has more new friends. Friends that threatened to do her to kill me if I did not immediately hand that soul over.
No knight was fought by a being that is known collectively as the Weeping Prince. And while I don't know too much about it other than its rather deadly and fearsome reputation, as the fact that it matched Snow Knight in swordsmanship and determination, I do believe I know. There are rumors, nothing is truly confirmed, but it never really is with angels, is it? I do believe.
Everyone's heard about angels, right? Just like, at least like the stories.
Yeah,
Angels. City?
yes. The Weeping Prince is known to be a ancient slayer of mythical creatures. And while much rare in modern time, I don't remember the last time. I don't think it was even before I was alive. Stepped foot in the mortal plane. He is deadly nonetheless.
Rowan will give a nod.
Not exactly sure why they want soul a dead murderer that badly, but angels
not
are
to-
rather secretive and their plans opaque.
I can only make speculation, but I do not think it coincidence that it is the soul of a man connected to the bulk.
I would advise you to let the matter die. Bargaining
I have
with
already given up
angels,
on that.
but I know your nature, and here you may think that is a good way to try and get it back from them or make some sort of deal. I will warn you that angels are the worst kind of people you make deals with.
Your Highness, I understand that my nature compels me to what excites me. My nature does not compel me to what will kill me. I have no desire to ever meet an angel.
She nods.
That Owen will say, and yeah, with that, Rowan will finish with saying that. And on the matter of Matthias, there is no other obligation he could fulfill, no other debt no other task he could do in place of what you wish with Zoe.
Right now, I don't see how anything else would benefit me. But the spirit of at least keeping an open mind, I will think think about it. Not too long, but I will think about it.
Of course. Oh. So, the vampire Zoe has requested a meeting, either with you or, of course, in much more likelihood, a suitable representative.
You familiar with this? You seem to have had dealings. Point.
Yes, she is somebody that I have exchanged debts with quite often, and she is one of the more powerful figures now in the city. Recently, she has risen quite highly.
I will let you be my envoy for this discussion. As she kind of like does a gesture with her hand, and you see like a large snowflake form above you, as it kind of like gently falls into your lap. You will be
Honor.
my vessel for the meeting, as I don't really wish to bring one of them here at the moment.
Honor me, my lady.
She nods. There's a lot of jealous looks as some of the court just kind of like stares at you. Some people are impressed, some people are jealous. Some people are skeptic.
Rowan will give a bow. If I have nothing else, my lady, if there is nothing else you'd wish to discuss.
Nods. Presumably,
She will take her leave, feeling quite happy with herself, off from exiled to
meteoric rise. Your ascension has been fast, and your flame burns bright.
Yes, it's already sputtering, but I'm burning bright, but it is already sputtering.
But yeah. Meanwhile, Darius, you leave the meeting with Lydia. How are you feeling at this point? How is Darius feeling?
There's a lot of mixed emotions, but just kind of angry. But he's putting that aside because there's a place that he needs to go to. He needs to go to Celine's shop so he can find out what the fuck is a Weeping Prince.
Well, luckily for you, Celine is just making her way. Well, by the time you get there, Celine has opened the shop. It's sort of late morning, like an 11 in the morning.
Oh, Darius, if I knew you were coming, I would have gotten. Well, I have a pot going on the back if you want a cup.
Yeah. He's going to flip the open sign to close or like be back soon. We need to talk.
I'm getting a little nervous here, Darius.
It's a friendly visit. I just don't want... What the fuck happened to your lock?
A little accident, don't worry. It's all cleared up.
Okay.
Well, if you come to the back, like I said, I have some coffee going.
He'll follow. It's clear Darius like usually doesn't sleep, but it's clear that he is just exhausted.
Oh. You look all withered out. Don't humans need 12 hours of sleep or something like that?
No. Maybe. I don't know. I need to ask you something.
Ask away. Here's your cup, by the way.
Thanks. John came to my house.
Oh. How was that? Is everything alright?
Rowan also talked to me, and they both, and through my own research, I think you know something about a figure called the Weeping Prince.
I could. I possibly do.
Well, that's a
Why?
yes.
Why do you need to know anything about this figure?
Because John warned me about him, and I know that he's some kind of warrior from past myths and legend who hunts down evil creatures who, I don't know, he deems evil.
Yeah, it seems you get the gist of it. I'm not sure what else you need from me exactly.
Well, I think he's around you, because Rowan said that that there was a person around you who was able to take Snow Knight, which last I understood could make like a mini ice age or some shit.
When she was born, she made an ice age. I think the fight between them was also a problem. But yes, got a Brighton one.
So, is this a being that I'm going to need to worry about? Is there something I need to know about, Celine?
Not that I'm too aware of. It seems your young ward has caught the interest of many people, though for what reason I can't really say, or know the full depths of why. I assume you've got him on well, you seem to be the responsible type. Hasn't done anything too dangerous, has he?
Darius, who usually doesn't look people in the eyes, is actively not looking you in the eyes.
Oh, Darius, what's happened?
Darius will take a seat, because this is also kind of a warning. He'll explain what the love potion did and what Rowan's involvement is, and them eating his fucking ward, and just kind of go into the events of what has been going on. That wouldn't actively fuck over anybody.
That's a very vague statement. What does that mean?
Let me phrase. You know what? Like, he just wouldn't mention Grace in the fucking garden. How about
Okay,
that?
that's what I want. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to know, you didn't tell her about the part where he killed someone else, right? He's just about the eating part, that's it.
He would also, like, he would go into that yet, but he says, you also have the soul of the person my ward killed? Why?
Information's outdated. I don't have it anymore.
Who has it?
My
Why do you-
benefactor.
You have a benefactor?
I have many benefactors, Darius. It's the way the world works. You can't just survive doing nothing. You gotta make connections somehow. We all
That's
don't
not
have
a
a tower to keep us safe.
Uh-huh. So why did they want it?
I can't say. I usually keep my business information like that is between clients. Patreon
Uh-huh.
is more like it, I think. Regardless. I didn't ask. I was just given a request. I don't see, I do understand the distressing feeling you would have about your young ward being eaten and used, but that doesn't seem to be much of a danger in that regard outside of his emotional and physical well-being. He hasn't really done anything in that regard.
Well, I am to be he is to be given to Zoe, and I am to beg for forgiveness for my insolence.
I feel like that's a large leap from eating my ward to I have to give this person, my child, to this person. I assume you consider him your son?
I have raised him for a number of years, and I have taken responsibility from him, but he was under my charge, and the person who put him under my charge decided that it would be better to go about it this way, and I have no wish to argue with that individual who we may or may not both know, and know that it would be bad to go against them.
What a very strange way of saying such things, Darius. Either you love him and care, or you don't. Or both. Is it both?
Me flying off the handle right now is not the way to help him.
So your not son will be used as collateral to ensure the peace. I will say I don't judge you, Darius, in that regard. I don't wish to come off that way. I've seen parents sell the souls of their children for far greater things than what this is. But I understand things are different for you and Lydia, I assume?
I really do not have any wish to sell the boy out, but I also have no means to deal with the Winter Court and Zoe and other people. Also, the moon disappeared, and I don't know what that's about, because that actually makes me a little bit more nervous.
I don't think Disley even noticed the moon disappear, Grunt.
I think you were a bit busy, like fending for
Yeah,
your
that's-
life, and then like having a rather interesting walk through the woods with John.
Gotcha. Okay, making sure. Oh, I probably missed out a lot. Well, what do you mean, Darius? There are many other options. Some of them good, some of them worse.
You were in contact with the Summer Court, weren't you?
Oh, yes.
Is there any way you can get me in contact with them?
No, cost you a favor, Darius. If I can even find them, for that matter. Things are a bit different now that the Winter Court has taken claim to the city.
Well, if you can, pass them on a message that I would like to speak to them.
Well, of course, for a lovely favor between us both, between friends, of course, I can do so for you to the best of my abilities.
That's all I ask at the moment.
Okay. Gonna add that debt to my paperwork. Okay. Huh? Well then.
What is it? Do you have like a scroll back there that just burns my name into it every time I owe you a debt?
A demon doesn't tell all her secrets, Darius.
Yeah, boy, don't I know it.
I have to ask, for curiosity's sake, how exactly did you and Lydia meet?
I'll tell you if you do me that favor.
I'm not that curious. Probably has the same
Alright.
beginnings as it always has. She found you when you were vulnerable. She did a favor for you, and as all humans do, just couldn't say no.
It was a little bit more complicated than that, but yeah, I guess we can consider that the gist of it. But unlike most humans, there was no soul debts required.
What are you talking about, Darius? She's got you hook, line, and sinker. Your soul's already hers.
He's kind of unnerved by that thought.
Trust me, Darius. We're demons. We don't really change our nature necessarily. We're just a little bit more subtle about it. And I don't think she dislikes you. We do experience love and joys and all that stuff. A little bit more selfish than most, too. The Fae are, sadly, another mirror image of our own reflections. They just, like I said, they can be a little louder.
Yeah. Speaking of, because I know we both know the individual, Rowan has broken every promise she's ever made to me. And has literally told me such. So I would really like, I know you're not the Winter Court's #1 fan and they're not yours, but Rowan specifically, be careful when making deals with her.
This is such a human nature. Celine kind of like looks very happy as she said it. Darius, Rowan is a Fae. She will do as all Fae does. Honestly, it seems you don't understand her nature at all.
No, I guess I don't. I'm learning that me having this human trait is kind of becoming a weakness in the society.
No, no, no. Don't ever bring down your human nature. It's wonderful to see. Human nature can expect trust where there is none, can expect love where there's none that should be had, and can make things appear that I can almost attribute it to magic. It is a strength you should cultivate. You just gotta be a bit smarter about it, is all.
Yeah. I'll take your advice to heart. Thanks for the information.
Of course.
If your friend, he's gonna look around, or John. Actually, is John still around? Because he literally it was like watching a Looney Tune. It was like there was like a dust cloud where he was because he ran so fucking fast.
Yes, John came to me with his concerns as well. It seems well, he's giving a couple of different options.
Oh, you had that demon problem. How did that go? Well, I guess you're around, so that's good.
I am. It seems my Philharmonic has given me, well, wishes to negotiate.
And you're not going to take that deal, right? I'm not even foolish enough to take that deal.
The problem with the whole thing, Darius, is that, like I said, demons are demons, and Malcolm is not someone who normally lets things go easily. I either come with a higher position of strength to negotiate, or I come in chains. So.
Fair enough. Well, if you do come across trouble, remember you do have friends out there. And sometimes my human nature does let me do more radical things when I don't have a burly man in my ear telling me no.
Well, some people like that, apparently.
I guess. I have a hard time turning my back on my friends. I'll see you around, Celine.
Of course. Take care, Darius. And take a cup of coffee for the road. Here, travel mug.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. We'll take your leave. Where are you headed next, Darius? Are you gonna wait a bit for things to unravel, or is there something else you wanna pursue?
Huh. Like,
They're waiting for the summer court to get back to you, which was a very good move. We're getting fucked by winter. This thing with Zoe, you're not sure, probably gonna take at least a day or two.
well, the only other thing I could think of to do is talk to Sophia, but that's not really the best call right now, since I'm about working with enemies of the people trying to.
You are
I'm trying to
juggling
help.
like 15 plights at the moment, yes.
Yep.
So
I guess right now, wait and see if I get in if anybody contacts me at the moment. While he just thinks, he's probably just sitting in a park, it's just sitting.
yeah. Trying to enjoy an afternoon parks, thinking about life and about how fucked the situation ends. Does feel like you are just you can't really catch a break.
And then the shoe drops.
No, not yet. Um I'll assume Celine gives Layla a call.
Yeah, call up her good friend Layla.
He's gonna pick up. Well, long time no see.
Of course, I've missed your lovely voice, Layla.
Mm-hmm. So, I assume this is business, as it usually is with you.
Of course. It seems, well, I have a friend of mine who wishes to get in contact with you.
Hmm. And is that friend of yours gonna shoot ice shards at me?
No, no. I would never do such a thing to you, Layla. It's just a wonderful little wizard man.
It wouldn't be the wizard man that was next to the person shooting ice shards at me.
Well, yes, but it seems he's on a bit of the outs with the old court of his. Things haven't really turned out all the best for him.
Fine, fine. I will set up a meeting with him. Let you know. Give him some details soon. It's a bit dangerous for me to right now to walk out in the open.
Of course, whatever keeps you safe, Layla. I will make sure he's aware of the dangers, too.
So, well, Rowan, you've left the realm. Plan on heading to Zoe straight or doing something else?
First of all, Rowan is going to. Rowan will. The thing that mocks me as like an emissary of the Winter Monarch. That's like a physical thing, right?
Yeah.
She's immediately going to take a photo of it and send it to Darcy.
Yeah, no, she's gonna like look at it shocked. Like, is that what I think it is?
Absolutely is. I am the Winter Monarch's representative for a meeting with Zoe, a vampire.
Were you ever a vessel before?
Oh,
I was once. It's a weird sensation. Prepare yourself. Kind of weird.
thanks for the heads up.
Uh, Good luck. This is amazing. I mean, only the truly favored by the court get this opportunity.
As Rowan will say that it's a weird feeling being liked. I think I could get used to it.
She'll kind of send you a smiley face, then like a kiss emoji.
Rowan will respond in kind, and then Rowan will give Zoe a call.
Answer like yes.
Good news! You have a meeting with the Winter Monarch's representative.
Well, tell them that I'm waiting at my club then.
I'll let them know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Then Rowan will head over.
I will say that this basically earns you a Deadwood. Zoe. So you can add that on your sheet.
I will.
As yeah, you make your way there as you clubs close during the day, of course, but you go to the basement. The security guard would let you in. As she looks a bit puzzled as she sees you walking into her room.
Oh, I forgot to mention. Even better news. It's me.
She has like a moment where she's like looks a bit stunned and smiles, chuckles. Well, somebody's moving up in the world. Is this like a promotion for you?
Yes, essentially. It's called being a vessel. Now, of course, once the deal is done well, and granted, I'm going to imagine once the deal is done, like you're a vessel on a temporary basis. No one's
Yes.
a permanent vessel.
No, no.
Yeah.
So basically, she's gonna like use you as a proxy to be able to talk to Zoe. The thing is, you'll be conscious and you'll be able to like see and hear whatever they're discussing. So this is the sort of sign of great trust. You'll be two consciousness inhabiting one body for like the duration.
Yes. I'm going to be what's called a vessel. Means that you will still be speaking to her, but through me. But it means a sign of great favor because, of course, it means I know whatever she agreed to. Which, usually monarchs can be quite secretive. It is a sign of great trust.
Sure, this works wonderfully because I think this will benefit you quite a lot. Huh? Tell me, you said you wanted to get Daddy Darius out of his debt of killing me, right?
Yes, I would prefer that.
Well, I can make that happen for you if you want.
Curious to see what you have in mind.
To help me orchestrate this, I don't mind putting my scheme in place. Of course. The Mac fell asleep. I don't mind putting the scheme in. Well, you know my schemes tend to work out.
That they do.
It's mechanically will cost you a favor, so gonna be if she succeeds, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, Rowan's totally fine with that.
So as you kind of like hold up the snowflake and it starts to melt, you feel this kind of like energy flow through you as your mind suddenly sort of like an out-of-body experience as you realize the monarch's consciousness is in your own head. It's a very weird sensation. As if your body sometimes stops responding to the inputs your brain would be sending to it. And then turning back control to you, and it's very weird. Very disorienting as well. As your voice kind of deepens a bit as it echoes, accompanying of cracking, almost as if ice is shattering every time you speak. And the monarch says, heard you wanted to discuss, wanted to propose some sort of deal. Zoe smiles, bows, and says, well, but of course. I have an offer that I think may benefit me and you in the long term. Because I think I know what you want. You want the little bulk, don't you? I mean, a lot of people want him. You, the demons, who knows what else. There's no response, but you can feel like the presence of the monarch just kind of like a sort of excitement builds as Zoe continues and says, well, I could help you get it. Of course, well, know that a lot of people that are defending him right now, snatching him is not really a possibility, because he has quite capable protectors, as even your little Fae here, Rowan, Shul told you about. Mighty warrior that just guards him. As she like like slides off her jacket, like revealing her fucking like incinerated flesh that still hasn't fully healed. As you can see, he is not joking around, and he just did this because he panicked a bit. He was serious. Probably could have killed me right there. None of your pay is ever gonna get past him unless you're gonna willing to just, cause a massive incident, which I think one war is enough for you, alright? So here's my proposition. I help you out, and instead, I believe you have something hold over Mr. Warren. I have a request for you. Instead of telling him, kill me, make him do what he does best. Make him guard me. Now, plenty of enemies gunning for my head. Sure, that will keep him quite busy. And well, I can also have a bit of fun with him while I'm at it. That takes one big pawn off the board. Sure, you can figure out how to deal with the demon and the mage. Or else. As the monarch takes a moment to think about this. An interesting proposition. You may like to pretend you are not conventional vampire, but does seem to me like you follow into your kind's footsteps. Rowan, would this help you with your dealings with the man as well?
It would. It would fill my end of the bargain with him. And it would mean that he will have to spend time away from the wizard and his ward.
Tell me, is this woman that he will be teaching, is this not also gonna negatively impact the wizard and his operations?
Wizards know the demon that keeps his collar. I think it would.
Her attention turns to Zoe. Seems like an acceptable deal. And then the consciousness exits your mind, Rowan, as you are back fully in control of your body. And Zoe's just a beaming smile. She will go to hug you.
Rowan will hug her back, staggered a bit from that experience.
Well, what do you think?
Honestly, I think you are maybe even more creative than I gave you credit for. I thought you would do something like that, but I thought you were just going to do the. You're just going to ask him to pick a fight, have her force Matthias to pick a fight with Lydia. This is much more entertaining.
I know. Listen. If I told him to kill another demon, that would have given him a bit too much pleasure, I feel. Plus, maybe I like having someone a bit more rough and gruff to take care of me every now and then. Plus, I just know how this will make the wizard feel.
Oh, he'll hate it. He'll hate it. What are you gonna do next? Are you going to take his wife next?
Ooh, not sure if I'm hot enough to melt that ice queen. That's something to think about, it maybe.
And for the future, perhaps.
Speaking of which, I did get a message from her. I think somebody's ready to bow and scrape. Would you like to attend this wonderful meeting?
Absolutely. Do you think the both of them would take it well if we inform them at the meeting, or do you think it'd be better if
There's no other way I'm gonna inform them.
because there's two ways. We either inform them at the meeting, which would be funny, or right after Darius has to beg and scrape for your forgiveness. He goes home just for his dad to have to tell him that now, in fact, he has to protect you.
No, I'm gonna bring all of them together. Want them all to see each other as they do it.
You know the funny thing, I quite literally told Matthias that I am not somebody he should trust or his son should trust, and then he still asked me for this anyways. To be fair, I got him what he wanted. I don't think he has any room to complain.
Listen, let me tell you. Your monarch might have gotten him to break one more vow. I can get him to break all of them. That would be too simple. Guess we'll just have to oh, I'm gonna use the opera house for this. This is a big event. I have a lot of witnesses.
It truly be spectacular.
She smiles. So much to do, so little time. We'll keep you in the loop.
Ah, dude. Inform me when this is happening, I will clear whatever is on my schedule.
She smiles and nods. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tick. Darius is the protagonist. So as thus, he must suffer the most.
Is he the protagonist?
He
Because it feels
is.
like Celine having a god on her shoulder, power of God and anime on her side.
Well,
Rowan is
said-
definitely
who
the
s-
antagonist. Rowan is definitely my antagonist. Like, I don't know who the protagonist, but I know it's not Rowan.
I've embraced the role. I'll be the bad guy.
Yeah, no, listen, Celine
Listen,
might
I
be
I was
like,
about to say, Red, was that misspelling Darius, or did you make combined Darius and fail?
failures
okay.
is spot.
It's okay, Grunt, because, like, listen, I keep telling Mac, all he needs to do is play one of your NPCs, and the players will fuck him eventually. He will be the center of attention and be fucked at the same time. He will get the best of both worlds. And now I'm bootlegging, so, like, I don't know what Mac's problem is. This is very easy.
Listen, the protagonist must struggle the most. That is the rule of the universe. All the universes, actually.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, I don't think Celine can be the protagonist. To be fair, I don't think Celine's gonna be the protagonist because Celine is she switched from serving demons to, let's be honest, destroying the city. Let's be honest.
Celine is a walking fucking disaster right now. I don't.
Look, we're here for a good time, guys. It's been a long time.
No, Darius is the hero I want to see succeed in this story. But for him to succeed, he must suffer first. The more he suffers, the more that success will be more
Listen,
satisfying if he
Genuinely,
succeeds.
I want to see Darius triumph. I want to see Darius and Celine have their happy ending. Listen, Rowan's a horrible person. She doesn't deserve a happy ending.
Is this your work? Like, here's the question. Here's the question. Who is the worst at their most depraved, Daniel or Rowan?
Rowan,
Rowan.
because Rowan takes pleasure in it. Daniel doesn't take pleasure in any of the horrible things he does. He always views them as necessary.
Damn.
Yeah.
So this is your worst character. Like, and I
Yes.
don't mean like worst, but like this is morally
Yes.
your worst character. Damn.
Like, she's on par with Maul for depravity, but Maul had
Yeah.
the excuse of being traumatized in a war that he was conscripted into.
So
Right.
as things will unfold, days would pass by, and yeah, you would. Well, now the news has kind of spread. One of the werewolves has been fucking mauled. Absolutely horrible. And that's raised concerns. The moon being gone for a night also raised concerns. That's an ongoing investigation that the wolves are handling, but it's kind of spread around, even through other circles as well.
Rowan, by the way, she will call, because she did have another werewolf contact that, the person that asked her not to
Yeah, Daniel.
spill all the beans. Yeah, and she's pretty much just going to offer, because as much as Amelia was somebody that Rowan still engaged with, and for all she complained, did find somewhat interesting. So Rowan will basically offer if there's anything that she can do to assist. She would.
They will politely decline, which is an interesting thing, Rowan. Because while they're portraying hey, we're investigating this, the fact that he declined your help means either they don't care, which is unlikely, or they're making moves, and this is just a delaying tactic. Which means something is about to go down heavy.
Understood. Rowan will simply say that, she understands if they prefer to keep it an internal thing, but should that view change and they feel they would require her assistance, they only have to call.
Keep you in mind, I guess. As you would all receive an invitation, as apparently some big event will be happening at the National Opera House, where the last time you were on stage, Darius, with Zoran.
Great, cool. Publicly humiliate me. I understand.
Oh yeah.
Did Celine get any information from Layla other than what she spoke of last time?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It'll take a bit more for her to say. Have any opera houses, fortunately, but yeah, as there's gonna be people, not everyone's gonna attend, not everyone really gives a shit. Some people have a bit more urgent news. Would any of you not attend? And by that I mean mostly Celine, because I know for the other two.
Are you gonna be there to support your friend, Celine?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be there. I'm not too sure what friends I'm gonna support just yet, but I gotta see what's going on.
Yeah, so as you gather, taking different seats, they've rented out this establishment. Yeah, you can definitely see Zoe on stage, being quite happy. And then there is Lydia on stage, who's content.
And there's Darius looking miserable.
Darius is there with Zoran. Somewhere sitting off to the side a bit. Yeah, you see also his dad is in attendance. A lot of people are. Some of the wolves, other vampires, fae, demons. There's a bunch of people. Even Andrea is here as well. Darcy. So, yeah, as the meeting starts, Lydia would like speak up and says, we've gathered here to resolve a dispute. I thank you all for attending as we witness, and hopefully this will clarify that any bad blood between some of the members of our community will be resolved, as the wronged party and the ones who did the wronging have agreed to settle their differences peacefully and in a way that ensures no more violence is being spread across the city. We are all still recovering from the loss of one of our wolves. As such, let's try and expedite this matter right now, as she looks at you, Darius.
Do I just is like I assume rehearses is? Am I just standing up and going?
Well, I
onto the
didn't really
stage?
give you a speech, but yeah, you're next up on stage as she like takes a couple steps back. As Zoe just looks at you smiling.
I would, first off, want to apologize for my actions.
I think
I
you have the wrong posture, first of all. Maybe this is a bit old-fashioned for you, but when we apologize, we do it on our knees.
Darius just sighs and looks around the crowd.
Like a
Actually,
people
is
are watching
Sophia
this.
in the
Yes, she
is
is.
Sophia in the crowd?
Yep.
He goes down on his knee and bows his head. I humbly request your forgiveness for my actions. They were done by a fool who was brash and reckless, and I hope that through this action we can move past this and work towards a better tomorrow.
You see, apologies are well and good, but sometimes people lie. Such, I did request for a little something. She pulls out a small vial. Bit of truth serum, so to speak. Make sure that, at the very least, you're not lying to me. Are you, Darius?
He's gonna like from the corner of his eye, so she can't see because his head is bowed, glance over at Lydia.
Lydia kind of like grimaces a bit and says, "If you are to be truthful, then I suppose you both can drink it." Zoe shrugs and says, "That's fine with me." So what do you say? We both drink it and tell everyone the truth.
Of course.
Of course, there's nothing else, nothing you have to hide, right? It's just gonna like take drink from it and then hand you the bottle.
Well, she drinks it. Once she downs it, he says, "Is this actually true, Sarah?"
Yes.
He takes a drink.
Yeah, as you taste like blueberries as you swallow the liquid. She looks at you and says, Are you actually sorry for what you did to me? Cannot lie.
Yes, I wish it didn't have to go down that way.
Did you wipe? Did you ask Rowan to wipe Zoran's feelings for me?
Yes.
Why?
After you detained him and then began eating him alive, I thought a neutral stance I thought a neutral stance was better than making him hate you and having free will versus the concoctions that you put into his body.
Gave him made sure he was enjoying himself. Came willingly. I told him everything and he agreed to it. Sounds to me, Darius, that you're kind of a control freak, one might say. But also interesting. That seems to run in the family, though. As she glances at Lydia. You just can't keep away from the garden, can't you, though? As like her face looks a bit confused. As Zoe turns back to you. I mean, we had a good thing going, Darius. You helped me out find Grace. I mean, could have tracked her in the botanic garden. That place is a maze. Right? You did track her, right?
Yes. Under your favor, I was asked to track Grace.
So we worked together so well then, and I thought, listen, when Zoran called me, because he just murdered a werewolf in cold blood, in a fit of rage, I was there to help you back, and you
That-
turned around and had your dad cast a fire spell at me.
That's not what happened. It was not during a fit of rage. What happened was the moon disappeared, an unforeseeable incident.
Still investigating that?
I did not ask Mathis to cast a fireball. You, in a fit of rage, cast a fear.
That's
And-
true. I was very angry when you had my lover's feelings for me wiped from his mind. Yes. You did.
And
Because
in-
you
and in-
didn't like the fact that I was spending my time minding my own business with him consensually. Just because you didn't agree with how we decided to spend our time. And you claim it wasn't a fit of rage, but does he have any memory of the incident?
No, but if you know if you know his kind, you know that is not what would have happened.
I know he can transform and behave erratically when he is anxious, panicked, angry. I know that darkness gives him strength and makes all this much worse. Which is why I wanted him to train with Andrea. Which I specifically had him do. And Andrea can deal with an enraged Balk. Doesn't seem like Emilia could, though.
Amelia was able to hold her own, has proven in the past, and she volunteered herself knowing the risks.
Did she know you had an alternative? Did you tell her about Andrea?
The alternative did not come up. We already established the deal
So-
beforehand.
So you did not tell her, but though I remember you insisting with Darius. In fact, you pushed him into this. So I would go on a limb to say you're partially responsible for him training with her.
She volunteered. She thought it was a good idea.
Did you not push him, though, into it? Did you not
Yes,
insist?
because they thought it would be better than having a demon who was eating him at the time.
She was only doing that in small bites. He can regenerate, and werewolves are very well aware of such regenerative qualities, and it doesn't hurt that much. Especially when I had his pain receptors flipped off. In fact, he was feeling quite good. You just can't seem to get over your own narrow-mindedness, in my opinion. But, well, now, after all of this fiasco, getting a werewolf killed, wiping his feelings for me, and, well, having your overprotective dad and murder me, I appreciate he didn't do, by the way. Very, very kind of him. Very kind of you for being so, restrained. I've decided to look over. You know what? You are so intent on keeping me away from the person I love. Fine. I'm not gonna intervene anymore. I will leave him in your care. Because he obviously doesn't have those feelings for me anymore, and I also don't want to be murdered for it. But I think I deserve some recompense, some assurance. As she looks kind of behind you, I think your father should make up for what he did to me. I think he should ensure my safety from now on, until such a time I decide it's no longer necessary.
Cases between you and me, I feel like he is a separate issue.
Why don't we let him speak his mind? Mr. Matthias, would you find this arrangement acceptable? Call it evens if you act as my personal bodyguard for a while until I feel my being is no longer under threat. And Darius, sure, if you glance back to see your father. But he stands up, takes a couple of steps forward. As all of you in the stands, you can see the lights from the reflectors kind of shine a bit on him. He nods. He says, I would find this arrangement acceptable. Lady. That was last words. He swallows them a bit.
Darius is gonna shake his head.
Lydia is fucking flabbergasted. Well, at least not everyone in your family is senseless. It is a pleasure to finally bury the hatchet, so to speak, Darius.
I'm glad we were able to bury that.
She will go to give you a hug.
While he's on his knees, or
Yeah.
He's
She's just gonna stand in front of you and just kind of hug your head. And then she's kind of much more silent, gonna say, don't worry. Not gonna take everything for you. For the moment.
He nods. The truth serum it makes him speak the truth, right?
Yes. I doesn't you just can't lie. You can if you don't say anything, that's fine. But you just can't lie.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it look. It's gonna be a silence of seemingly defeated.
As she smiles, kind of goes back and says, well, And some of you that are in the stands, you can see some of like the werewolves are not shocked by this revelation. At least Daniel isn't, Rowan.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. That makes Rowan was coming in here expecting that.
Zoe knew about that. So yeah, as they'll say, well, thank you everyone for attending this. I feel much better, and I'm sure that once we investigate why the moon was missing, and I'm sure wolves will find it in their gracious heart to, well, maybe not forgive, but at the very least, let's find a situation that requires less bloodshed. As she's gonna walk kind of past you, Darius, and kind of up to your dad, and he's like tall, so she's gonna like reach up to his collar, like of his shirt, start walking, like starts dragging him after her.
Darius is just gonna sit there silent, just still on his knees, just sitting there.
Lydia looks at you and just walks away. Doesn't say anything to you. Zoran will actually, or kind of like, as people are kind of like starting to get up and the lights of the scene kind of get shut off. Feel the heat dying down, both physically and literally. Zoran will kind of walk up and like, Darius?
Zoran.
Sorry for all of this.
It's not your fault, son.
I brought her into this. I killed that werewolf. I fucked up.
He stands up, and just as he's babbling, he gives him a hug. He just embraces him into a hug.
Yeah, he'll hug you back. There's a slight sob. He just like tries to stifle. Meanwhile, what any discussions and you two might want to have, or anyone you might want to engage before this party kind of gets broken up?
I assume Darius and Zorn are still on the stage,
Yes.
just hugging each other.
He'll be getting off soon.
Yeah, you're good. There's like a bit of, I wouldn't say a shock necessarily, but it was a good show, horrible as it was, basically, as Celine gets up. I don't know, I assume the werewolves have already left or haven't been...
Well, nobody's like you can still talk to anyone you might want, but they're like in the process of leaving.
I gotcha. I think right now there's nothing Celine necessarily wants to say to anyone.
What about you, Rowan?
Well. Oh, I think the first person that, oh, there's a few. Yeah, Rowan is going to. Because I assume Darcy was here, right?
Yes, she was next to you, watching this
Yeah.
with great interest.
Yeah. Rowan will just look over at her. Zoe told me what it was going to. Zoe told me what it was going to be like, but I didn't think she'd go for. I knew she was going to go for his jugular. I didn't think she was going to take his whole throat.
That vampire is something dangerous. I've heard rather vampire schemes, but yeah, she might be in like the top 3 most dangerous vampires I've seen.
It's much better at the game than most people give her credit for. Well, I think everyone's going to give her the credit she deserves now.
I think she's managed to make enemies out of a lot of people, but somehow keeps them in a checkmate sort of position. The monarch
Well.
seems to be happy with Matthias there being distracted.
Imagine the was an interesting experience.
Glad that's not me up there. Or you. Be careful with Zoe. Might be your friend now, but you're not the only one who can be fickle.
I absolutely know. As Rowan will get up. Well, might be some other people I want to talk to, get their opinion on the matters, but don't worry. I understand the nature of. Oh, I think I understand the fickle nature of people better than most. It's, that is my nature after all.
She nods. Half a smile.
Yes. Rowan will go for a bit, because she wants to talk to Andrea.
Yeah. You catch her as everyone's kind of just shuffling along.
So what did you think about the show?
She's deadly, isn't she?
She really is.
You know about this? I'm shocked as an understatement.
Rowan will say, I knew a bit. What information she didn't know, I may have helped her in finding out.
Christ. What? Maybe I'm asking for a bit too much gossip. He agreed a bit too easily, didn't he? Just like a lamb going to the slaughter.
And I am assuming that as a vessel, revealing what the monarch actually agreed to through you is a big, like, no,
yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
be
that.
like, listen, unless you trust Andrea, no, like, don't do this, please.
Yeah. Yeah, basically, Rowan will say that, fortunately, as much as I do love to gossip, that is one thing I'll have to test.
Yeah, well, I imagine she had something over. I think, Lydia was quite annoyed. Surprised, shocked.
Something tells me she did not arrange. Something tells me she did not arrange this meeting with the intention that her pet wizard would lose essentially everything.
She was one of the people who arranged this, though. Ooh, I don't want to be in anyone's shoes that was up on that stage right now.
Imagine the family dinners are going to be awkward.
Oh, that's an understatement. And I knew coming here was a
Yes.
good decision. I never realized that staying here would be so exhilarating.
It is, which going to tell you something. Maybe I shouldn't, but I think it'd be very fun. She'll like get up on her like tiptoes to whisper into Andrea's ears. And just jog my memory because I've kind of forgotten. The Weeping Prince was mentioned to Rowan by the monarch, right?
Yes.
She'll whisper. Do you know a certain figure called the Weeping Prince?
There's a flash of terror on her face.
Well, she'll whisper. I have it on some good authority. He was in town. For whatever reason, he decided to help Celine.
Holy shit.
Of course, I want to tell you this because you're a good friend and I think things are going to get a little crazy. I've called a hunch and I want to make sure you are safe. And of course that you'll... Oh, and my fervent belief that whatever it is you'll do with this information will be fun to watch.
Oh, it will. I was planning on leaving, but knowing that is her changes things.
She does have a habit of acquiring the most interesting allies. First a dragon, now the forces of heaven. I wonder if... What do you think she'll pull out of her hat next?
Well, guess you'll have to wait and see now. And she winks at you.
Anticipation will kill me, but I'll wait and see.
Again.
See, Tick. I saw that you were too far down. Unlike Shadow, I don't kick a man when he's already down.
You don't
So
take
I
any
fucking
respect of it, and then
I decided to kick Red.
I wasn't even. That's right. They stabbed and I heard the bullet go, the gunshot go off. It's like, God
it's all
damn it.
right. I just
So remember when I told you all that Rowan is like when she thinks something is interesting, even if she knows it's a bad idea, she's still compelled to do it? This is this in action. Rowan knows that was a horrible thing that does not benefit anyone, but she did it anyways.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Listen, apparently Grunt likes people to struggle. So like the only way through up is up, right, Grunt?
Yes, in fact, you are correct.
Listen, you two are the protagonists. I have to make sure you struggle appropriately.
Da-da-da.
Is this rock bottom, Grunt, or because it feels like I could still lose more?
I'll
This is
show
like
you
the-
rock bottom.
Because this is like the Nathan moment right now. All right. Well, hey, maybe I can somehow salvage this. I still have a meeting, and the summer court's not here to see my stupidity.
Oh.
And I suppose that I'd like to go talk to Zoe as well. Fantastic work, truly immaculate.
Yeah. As you find her, you can like find her in the back of the back rooms of this place, as she is just kind of like kind of like stops as she was talking to Matthias, as she like turns to you and smiles.
Darling, that was immaculate work. Perfection. Oh, Matthias, by the way, good news. I have freed you of the obligation to kill Zoe, if you didn't already know, so expecting you to uphold your end of the obligation.
You just see the last light fucking dim from his fucking eyes.
He's...
His fist is just clenched. And Zoe kind of steps in and says, now, Daddy Darius, we don't want you to just lose your cool on every provocation. So those vows are pretty important. We want to keep breaking them. Right? So a good little sport, and you'll do your obligation. Otherwise, I might just find myself in need of protection. The most awkward spots. I don't think you want that. And she kind of winks at him. Like he recoils a bit. And then looks at you, Rowan, and just nods and says, when my duties will permit, I will endeavor to teach her what I know. And Zoe says, oh, we'll make time for that. Don't you worry.
And I have a debt with him, right? I do on my
Yes.
sheet because I shared that moment in PC. Yes, and when Grace asks why, of course, I wouldn't make you lie to her, but she asks why. Just merely want to say that you're just repaying a favor, and that's it. She doesn't need to know any of the finer details of why you do. And she's like cashing in that
Yeah.
debt.
I have to mark that down as well.
Any more shoes, Grunt?
No, I think we went through most of them.
Well, Zoe, I will not take up your valuable time. I just wanted to come back and compliment a truly masterful performance.
You know what? You made a good point. Sky's the limit, right? I'm gonna have Lydia eating from my palm before the year's over. And if not, there's always next year. Isn't that right, Daddy Darius?
I imagine he's just fucking stone silent.
Yeah, he's just like doesn't say anything. He's just fucking like absolutely rigid expression. He has shut himself in.
Oh. Well, speak to you later, Zoe.
Of course. Come now, my little new pet. It's quite a lot of things I must teach you. Tricks and all. Don't worry. Only need to roll over like once or twice a day. I should like start taunting him as they move away.
Yeah, as Zoe will just go. As Rowan will just go back to Darcy. And that's it. That's pretty much it. Yeah, 3 people I wanted to talk to.
Yeah. I'm not sure if Celine wants to talk with Darius after all this is over.
Ooh, yeah, yeah. I'm not too sure if they're still on stage or they've moved somewhere
Well,
else.
presumably, eventually they'll they get off and they make their way out as well. One of the
Yeah,
like,
he'll
the last
probably like
ones.
the last people. Yeah.
You have a way to get home?
Walk, really?
Come with me. I have a car. I can drive you.
Are you sure it's a good idea? I don't know if having me around will taint your reputation.
I'm a small-time businesswoman, Darius.
Fair enough. We'll get into the car with her.
This is the first time we've actually met each other. Hello, my name's Celine. I'm a business partner of your not father.
Kind of chuckles and shakes your hand. Zorn, pleasure to meet you.
Lovely to meet you, Zorn. I've heard a lot about you. Mostly complaints.
Sorry, kid. You did give me kind of an aneurysm for the past couple weeks.
I know.
It's fine. I assume we're like in the car driving, Red.
Yeah.
Lydia got outplayed. I had a feeling that was
That's-
going to happen.
That's a mild term of what you're saying. Outplayed, destroyed, utterly defeated in public setting with no way to counterattack at all.
She's probably not going to talk to me for a while.
Hmm.
Which means, I don't know, I'm kind of free to do different things.
Well, I'm not too sure if she has the justification to be upset or you should have the justification to be upset more. You did all that she asked and still lost everything. She just lost face.
Not everything.
True.
I'm still here. The boy's still here. You're still giving me rides.
Yes, but that won't help you much when the werewolves may decide to go after you. Your reputation is, well, not in the best situation. Your chance for allies are quickly diminished.
What people saw is that I'm no friend of Zoe, and Zoe's no friend of mine, and I bet Zoe has a lot of enemies.
What people saw is that a woman just made an example of you to all her enemies.
Fair. That's tomorrow's problem. Right now, I didn't see anybody from the summer court there.
No. Things are difficult for the summer court. It's a lot harder to have a meeting when Winter has so much power. But I've reached out, and with time, you will hopefully have a chance to have that conversation.
Fair enough. For now, I'm keeping my head down from Zoe and Lydia.
As you say
I
that,
see.
Darius, your phone is ringing and it's Lydia's number.
He picks up.
Okay. I thought this might be better if we talked over the phone because I won't be feeling the need to rip out your guts. So, are you gonna explain to me? I'll admit, I got so fucked. That
I don't know. I
I'm-
was the one on my knees, spent in assuming the position.
Unlike you, Darius, I do have a lot more to lose. Which is, I want just one question. Why the fuck didn't you tell me about Grace?
It was kind of a favor to not.
Did someone show you to fucking secrecy?
No.
Who was that favor towards? Remind me.
It was to Rowan.
The Fae who is part of the court that just most likely fucked you over. The one that has been fucking you over repeatedly.
Well, like ever since she said, "I have more to lose than you," as Darius literally just kind of like lost a lot here. Celine, since Lydia's not here, you're just gonna see like Darius, like you're just gonna kind of feel like a pressure in the air, and Darius like just stone face, more mad, more like what you would see in Mathis's face than you've probably ever seen him. Are you? Swell, you got outplayed. What do we do now?
Guess I'll have to figure
my-
something out. Because I obviously
my
can't
plan-
trust you. Because you're keeping secrets from me. Again.
So my plan was to go for her jugular when we had time, and
But
I
how
don't know-
how are you gonna do that exactly? Just walk up to her and kill her? With everyone just knowing that it was you? Is that your glorious plan?
Not exactly.
Then I'm listening. It seems to me that your dad is now protecting her, which is an interesting turn of events. So, Darius, I love you, but I cannot trust you anymore. As such, I'll leave Zoran with you because, God, I don't need another fucking weight tying me down right now. Just make sure that nobody gets to him. I don't give a shit if you have to lock him in a dungeon. I don't give a shit if you have to drug him. Not lose sight. Do not let the night of the missing moon repeat itself. In the meantime, I'll figure some way out of this shithole like I always do. Okay?
Okay.
Just closes the phone call.
That sounded like a lovely discussion between two people who seem to have one beating heart, as they say.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic.
Well, you're already down on the ground. I don't think I want to kick you any further. What's
Truth
this?
is,
Go ahead.
Grace was a student of mine for a brief bit, and if what I think is happening to her, I don't think she deserves the death penalty for something she doesn't understand.
What exactly is going on with Grace now, and what does it connect to the garden?
Well, there's no use in you're the only friend I got right now. There's something trapped in there. Some spirit, God, I don't know. But it's calling to her, and she seems to be more like my old man than like me.
That is an upsetting bit of news to hear.
I really would let it go. Because unless you want to deal with you saw what happened with Rowan and her friends, I suggest you just let it go, Celine.
The difficult part about that, Darius, is that I have things in my life that require me to not let it go. You forget exactly what my other jobs entail. I am the steward of the garden, until otherwise stated. And it looks like Grace is now a part of that. I warned Warren this could happen.
I really did try to teach her my ways. It just... she can't tap into the magic pool like I can. She needs a different kind of conduit.
You should have just gave her to a demon, or let her make a pact with one if she wanted magic so badly. People
Something
like...
I like, yeah, but I feel like making a pact with making the actual pact is not beneficial towards that individual's health, even if it was for magic.
You don't think she already made a pact with a demon right now?
I don't think what's in there is a demon. I think it's a spirit or an ancient god.
Let me remind you, Darius, no matter what you call it, it always is going to be detrimental to the human who decides to make a pact. Angel, demon, fae, vampire. It always comes up the same no matter what. You think this thing will be kinder to her than what a demon would do? You're woefully naive in that regard.
I keep trying to help people, and it's only hurting me right now. So whatever, I can't stop Grace from doing whatever it is.
I don't think any of you could. Grace is human, and the hunger of a human being can be. Well, they make many decisions in regards to that. Pretty obvious from the start that she was never be all right with just a bit of a tasting of what it means to have power.
Nope. I'll be honest. Before I die, I bet that woman's gonna end corrupted. She didn't seem to fully comprehend what having the power means.
True. And what about you, young Zorn? What do you wish to do now? You seem to be in a bit of a crust. No longer under the sway of Zoe.
Trying to make up for all my fuck-ups.
What will you do by making up with that?
Not exactly sure.
Well, you seem to be an interest to a large number of powerful people. And you can spend your entire life in that tower, I assume, as your not father likes to do. So I can tell you from someone looking out, that seems not to be the best choice. It leaves you all woefully unprepared.
Seems if I leave the tower, things go badly anyways.
Nah, kid. This is your life. If you want it to change, keeping you in the tower was the wrong call. You need to fight for it. Not me, not Lydia. If you want something done, we're gonna have to fight for your freedom. That includes you.
He'll give you a solemn nod. Yeah. Drop him off at his tower. Who will make you all hot coffee. If there's any last conversations you would like to have with Zoran Darius?
Oh, is there anything he's trying to say to me?
No, he looks as he's feeling guilty. He is, and yeah, he's gonna take your words to heart. He's gonna try and be better, do better. Doesn't really know what that means or how to do it, but he's gonna try.
Nope, I have nothing to say.
As Celine drive off then.
Yeah, probably tell Darius to take care and last bit of
Remind me,
advice.
did you exchange phone numbers with Andrea? I don't remember.
Andrea got my number from Rowan.
Yeah, so
You're welcome, by the way.
you would get a call. It's from Andrea.
Hello. I'm currently not in my store right now, but I'm always able to take reservations if that's the case.
Yeah, but it does appear that you are taking a lot of reservations.
Well, business is always booming when one looks and pays attention. How can I help you, Andrea?
Angels, Celine. That seems high even for someone like you. Don't worry.
Who told you?
Son, doesn't matter. It's just I'm gonna keep your little secret. If you help me out with something.
Well, what exactly is this something that you wish for, Andrea? I don't think I'm a chef of your flavor.
Although you seem to possess all the ingredients, just seem to flock to you. It's quite simple, actually. I need you to tell me the name of the angel. And I will swear a vow of secrecy.
Why exactly is that important to you, Andrea?
Told you I would be revealing too much of my hand. I don't know who has what over your head. Nothing personal.
True. Right, I just want to make sure because I don't think the angel ever really cared if Celine mentioned his name or not. She wasn't told to give it.
He
Keep
never
it
was.
secret.
Yeah, he was specific. He was never specific about. Yeah, he would like you to keep him secret, like as a whole. He never like specific name or anything.
Wow. His name is Abaddon.
Could be worse. Could be better. Thank you. Rest assured, nobody will know. At least not from me.
And you swear it, of course?
On my heart and my soul. May they be yours if I betray you.
Well, thank you for that then. I hope you found whatever you were hoping to hear.
Wish you a wonderful day, Celine.
You too as well, Andrea. Wait, before you go, can you tell me exactly who told you? I've been mostly discreet in most of my dealings.
It's quite valuable information. Like you'll owe me a bit for this one.
I feel like you are a danger person to have any favors towards, Andrea.
You wouldn't be wrong about that. I am a dangerous individual if you're not careful, but you're a very careful person, Celine. Somehow you've managed to navigate quite the cesspool of dangerous individuals.
Alright, well, I'm willing to take a gamble. Andrea? A favor? I assume a debt for finding out this information, right?
Yeah, you'll owe her a debt.
A debt for a favor for this wonderful bit of information.
It was Rowan.
Of course. I should have already known. Well, thank you for that then.
Yeah.
Be seeing you then.
She hangs up the phone.